What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And in today's video, I got to talk about Stellantis finally coming to the realization that the Carlos Tavares way of doing things in terms of how they had engineers and everything else was an abject fucking disaster. We're going to talk about all that and more and how they're changing it as a couple thousand jobs just opened up right after this. All right, guys, before we get into today's video, we got to talk about the giveaway we have going on the channel as the limited promotion on the TRX that is being given away now at tksgarage.bigcartel.com is most likely going to come to an end today when you're seeing this video, if it hasn't already. We put it up a limited promotion for 20 available orders. There's currently 5 remaining at the time I'm recording this video. So once those are gone, that's going to be it. We might do something with the Chrysler 300 Hellcat later in the month, or maybe, more towards St. Patrick's Day or something. We'll see. But if you want to get in on a TRX with the best possibility to win with 15,000x entries, now's the time to do it. You can go over, it's listed right there, tksgarage.bigcartel.com. Link is in the description. All right, so let's cover this, right? I saw this over, and let me give them credit, because I saw this over at Car Scoops. Stellantis is hiring 2,000 new engineers as quality concerns finally reach the top. After mixed reliability scores and troubled launches, Stellantis launches a major engineering hiring push. I think this is much needed. So they've recently hired 2,000 engineers to boost quality. The recent launches and tech shifts raised reliability worries. And dealers link early cost cuts to some quality issues. Again, going back to the Carlos Tavares disaster. So let's get into this article. They said automakers can release all the cars they want, but if the public perceives them as cheap or of bad quality, the reputation can stick. After some recent trials in that realm, Stellantis is hiring some 2,000 engineers to combat quality issues. The brand's CEO is calling this a deep reset as a new wave of models comes to market. Speaking during a February earnings call, CEO Antonio Filosa said Stellantis is restructuring its processes to address problems caused by the previous operational decisions. That's basically a code word to say Carlos Tavares was an abject disaster and pretty much destroyed the company. He said, quote, "We are resetting execution and improving quality management processes to address previous operational issues triggered by past decisions." According to Auto News, quality has a more prominent role in the automaker's leadership structure. For example, Chief Quality Officer Sebastian Jacquet sits on Stellantis' strategic leadership team. This signals a desire to ensure that quality is part of the central business plan across all brands. I like it. Now, what I find here is, I'm wondering if this guy from Car Scoops actually had the same Ram. Where'd it go? Had the same Ram truck. All right, let's see if we can get back to where we were there. Anyways, it looks like what they're trying to do here is fix a lot of the issues. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Remember they shortened the wiring harness to save a little money. Carlos Tavares decision. I mean, this has happened over and over. Like, we can go over and over again. Here's that Ram. This is the Ram I think I had that I beat the abject shit out of in Mississippi. Shout out to Ram for that during the major ice storm. I was pulling more F-250s, F-350s in a semi-truck out of ditches with this truck. Trees, all kinds of stuff, man. that thing just went to work. It was, I got to be honest, that limited Longhorn, probably one of the nicest trucks I've driven. And you guys know I've had the Laramie. I have my own Laramie Longhorn. Just nice. Anyway, Stellantis' recent report cards on quality have been uneven. In 2020, Dodge became the first domestic brand to lead J.D. Power U.S. initial quality study, and it repeated the feat in 2023, basically the end of the L cars, right? But the brand fell to last place the following year, climbing back to 7th in 2025. Now, this is all people were basically reporting issues in the first 90 days. This all comes back to bad wiring harnesses, bad engineering. I mean, this is why bean counters can't be the CEO of automotive companies. Because while it looks good on paper to have engineers in, say, Morocco, right? And engineers in Brazil, and your manufacturing is taking place in Mexico, and your wiring harnesses are coming from China, and then you try to put all of that together, and the engineers in Brazil are trying to talk to the engineers in Morocco about a software issue between, say, a body control module and the PCM. It doesn't work. You need those people to be front and center at a place like CTC in Detroit with the vehicle there, so the teams are right there in the same building. They can deal with the issues so much quicker than some of the stuff that you're seeing with what they're dealing with now. Anyways, I thought this was interesting. It's funny because people will say, "Oh, well, people should just go to Ford, right? They should just go to Ford. Why are you just go to Ford?" Okay, so you go to Ford, right? Ford has 3 times as many cars that are being recalled so far this year than any other brand. And Stellantis has had a lot. So you ain't going to Ford. Well, okay, you're going to go to GM. They're grenading motors left, right, and center. Well, what about Toyota trucks? No, their motors ain't no better. Since they got rid of the I-Force V8, they've been horrible, man. And they still ain't figured out why the motors are blown up because they have another recall out. I have to give, Ram, I have to give CDJR and Antonio Filosa, and I say Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram because we all know that the reason why this is happening or they're hiring these engineers are to fix the issues at Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. That is where the money comes in. You know what I'm saying? And they got to get it right. They absolutely have to get it right before it gets too far. And it's unsavable. I think the team of, Matt and Tim and Bob, running all 4 of those American brands, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, is huge. And they're all car guys. Like they're all people, they're like us in terms of how they feel about cars. They get emotion over cars, okay? So to see that where it is now, right? And knowing that these guys are leading these companies moving forward, I actually have faith that they'll be able to turn this around. And that's also because Filosa is a car guy too. Even though he's Italian, and I had a lot of misgivings about that guy taking over the company, I feel that he actually knows what he's doing. And he's giving the consumers what they want. You think Tavares was ever going to change course and give us back Hellcats and Hemis? No. You think any of these other European retards that they could have, added was going to do that? No. So, to close out, one of the things that I thought was really clear is what they're going back to, right? And you should go read the Car Scoops article. It was actually really good. And they said that they're basically getting into a reset built on simplicity. Looking forward, Stellantis is leaning on simpler proven hardware in some cases. The company recently brought back the long-running 5.7 Hemi V8 in the Ram 1500, a move some analysts believe could help stabilize reliability. Well, no shit. Buyers have expressed extreme interest in the vehicle, despite it being less powerful, less quick, and less fuel efficient. People don't, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is, and I've said this so many times, man. You could put an inline six in a Ram. Somebody might buy it. Maybe that's what they want. Give them the choice if they want to buy that. But let's be real here. Nobody really wants that. People want a truck that can work and is a reliable engine. And let me just be real clear here and honest with you. Forced induction engines, whether they're supercharged, turbos, whatever you want to, they do not last as long or as reliable as naturally aspirated engines. Period. So people that want to buy a truck with a regular 5.7 Hemi, that might be the guy that buys a truck like every 12 years. He wants a truck that he's going to be able to put 250,000 miles on and not have to do a bunch of crap to it, like replace turbos and turbo seals and intercoolers and all this other bullshit. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.